having more than 15, some people are having 20 years, some having 5 6 years, some having 10 years. So that is the reason I have been or we have been facing some problem in scheduling the calls. And I want to make sure that all the sessions will be taken by industry experts who has got good experience in working in industry. So in that regard, banking basically uh, we decided that the very first we will be talking about the industry, and then we will start with the technology. So banking is done, like banking domain is done, and I think Kabirul has covered entire, like it's not entire, basically some idea about how banking domain works and how transaction happens and how different systems basically interact with each other. So I would like to collect feedback, like how you are feeling, like the sessions that was being, is it helping like understanding like how technologies or systems are developed or used in real time environment. Would like to hear something, some feedback. Basically, all the sessions should be some sort of interactive so that we will also be able to understand whether that sessions that we are arranging are giving a value to you or not. So I hope that it given you enough knowledge or idea about the domain, actually, the banking domain. So I would like to hear some feedback here. You can ask me now, or you can like type your messages in the chat box also, because that I have discussed about three in the schedule. If you see, there are three uh, subject areas mentioned. One is banking, another is agriculture technology or agritech, and another one is the e-commerce. Okay. Now, e-commerce and agriculture technology, I will be arranging the calls, or I will be taking the sessions, because I am having good experience in managing these two domains. And then from this week, coming week, we will be starting with the actual technology sessions, and we will be starting with cloud computing and AWS, Amazon Web Services. So there will be sessions on AWS, and after that, the sessions will be divided into major categories. One will be for uh, like full stack development, and another will be on the data side. And or we can keep a single team also, I don't mind, because uh, in that case what we will do, full stack, because even though we will be covering some topics in data like big data, data analysis, some part of full stack will have database. So best, like, let's first complete the cloud computing section first, and after that you'll take a decision. Yeah, I would like to hear from you as well, and then if there is a need we can divide two groups, and otherwise we can keep a single group and we can cover everything inside that. Okay. And that is number two. And total duration, as I told, we are targeting to complete everything by 3 months, and out of which one 1.5 months to close to, mostly 1.5 months will be on the domains and technology sessions, and the remaining 1 month will be, you will be given some sort of work, actually. Like, if you are taught on full stack, then we'll be giving some, it is not the typical coding you have to do. We'll be given some idea how full stack are being used in real time, same about the databases. So and that practical part or actual part you have to complete in remaining 1 month, and after that we'll do a detailed review, and then the certificate will be given to you. And the second chapter that I told, that will also start after that. So if you have any questions regarding the banking and others, whether it is helping you not or helping you or not, you can send your feedback anytime, but I would like to listen some feedback from you. Okay. Now let me. I don't have any presentation today. Like the session we started last week, so the presentations will be provided to you. I think either tomorrow or day after tomorrow, because tomorrow there will be another session. So today's sessions will be on agritech, agriculture technology. and then tomorrow session will be covering the e-commerce. So in that actually all the sessions related to domain will be completed, and after that there will be one session, I think, where we will be giving you idea about how what are the key technologies are used in these three sectors, and then we will be starting with the AWS, Amazon Web Services, and cloud computing. Okay, and just give me just give me a minute. So basically, last session was on fintech. Okay, so fintech, these are nothing new actually. Last 20 30 years, technology technologies are being used in the industry people needs it for their daily work, automating their processes, their supply chains, making transactions, and there is a domain. But this new buzzwords are being created last 5 6 or 7 or 10 years. Fintech. So what is fintech? It's a finance technology which are being used in the financial sector. Okay, the same technology can be used in other domain as well. When the same it is being used in agriculture domain, it is called agri-tech. Okay, so there are two myths about the agri-tech. One is the digital technology. Okay, the technology that we are or we will be discussing. And then in the agriculture also there is some technology. Let's say for example, genome sequencing seeds. Okay, or hybrid seeds. So for develop hybrid seed, some technology is being used, biological technology. So we will not discuss those technology directly here. It is the digital technology, and that is the buzzword is about the digital technology. Okay, so agriculture technology, it's mean agri-tech. So this is one sector. I think you have been noticing last 3 4 or 5 years this buzzword is being created, agri-tech. Okay, earlier it was not there, and this is one domain or one area where technology usage were low, currently is low, and there are obvious reasons. Farmers, they will not able to pay, or the industry itself is not that much capable of adopting technology or putting money into it. Bank has lot of money, and bank has lot of customer. That is the reason why bank they invest heavily on technology. You think of any bank. Okay, nowadays 20 years back it was only few banks who had ATM card and other net banking, and but nowadays if some bank or banks they do not have these facilities, now people will not simply go there. If some banks say no, we don't provide internet banking, or some banks say no, we don't have a mobile application, or we don't support UPI, you as a customer you will go, you will never go, right? But 15 20 years back actually that was not the case. It was a luxury. We used to access internet banking for making a transaction or viewing the balance was a luxury. It was not a necessity. But now it has become a necessity. Similarly, for agri-tech, we are in the very early phase of technology adoption. What 20 years ago banks were there, Indian banks were there. Okay. So, agriculture, you all know basically, and if you Google, you will find many facts about Indian agriculture. It covers 20% of our total GDP. Okay. When I say GDP, it is gross domestic produces. Okay, or products. Right. India as a country has some capability to produce services, to produce products, many types of products. So 16% to 70% of which are of agriculture domain. Okay, our farmers cultivate like produces. Let's say for example rice, paddy, pulses. Okay, then wheats, then fruits, then vegetables, these things, and then the products like the finished product. Let's say for example flour, atta. Okay, and any masala spices you can talk of. So 16 to 17% of our GDP is from agriculture produces, but more than 50% of our population totally dependent on agriculture. See the ratio. It's only 16-17%, which is again is a big, but at the same time, 50% of the total population is dependent on agriculture, livelihood, like their income and other stuff. Because our village population or rural population is huge. Okay, these artifacts you will get in Google. If you search, you will get all the artifacts. And out of those, 85 to 90% of the farmers are smallholder farmers who are having less than 2 acre of land, 2 acre of cultivation land. They are very poor. Okay, but good part is that they have been surviving and they are doing well and they have been improving. We as a country, I think during the COVID, the 2020, you like you will all we all have been going through these phases. We are near the endemic. I don't know whether it will be really endemic or not. But if you see India, like last 2 years, government, like both state government and central government, they are basically giving rations free, right? It was announced in during COVID and it is still going on. So from where basically so much of grains are getting actually or receiving? It is the thanks to our farmers that they have produced so much of grains that we have sufficient grains to distribute among our citizens free. The same was not be the scenario. If you write or if you see in history, earlier it was not. We used to import lot of pulses, lot of other grains, wheats also from outside country, and importing means it's expensive. But now we have the capability to not only feed our own citizen or our own people, but we can also export. We can know we are currently exporting. We are exporting various goods, sorry, agriculture goods to countries in USA, America, in Europe, in Middle East. Okay, these are the major countries. In Africa, we have huge. And now we have been identifying the prospect of agriculture as a commodity or as a product. So definitely, whenever we see the technology, whenever we see some opportunity, technology will automatically come. And basically now, many startup are coming up in this segment, and government has also identified that there is a need to introduce digital technology inside the agriculture domain as well. Now, how it will help in improving the ecosystem? When I say ecosystem, it is the entire like eco, you can say ecological environment, you can say. Farmers are part of it. Now farmers, they basically produce, basically they cultivate and they produce grains and rices and pulses. The traders who are involved in trading, then basically the manufacturer of seeds, manufacturer of fertilizers, food processing industry, transporter, all are basically part of this ecosystem. Okay, all are part of this ecosystem. So this entire ecosystem will be benefited by introducing digital technologies. Now what digital technology can do in the agriculture sector, I'll be putting you the some of the real time use cases, then you will understand how important it is. First of all, we all have been seeing now basically the prices of two of the commodity. I can say it's not commodity; it's a normal vegetable. One is onion and another is tomato. Right? These two you can see the spike. If you see the graph now, it's not very comfortable graph. If prices of tomato is 15 rupees or 20 rupees a kilo now, sometime you'll see it's a 70 rupees, 80 rupees. Sometime you'll see 5 rupees, 6 rupees. Same for tomato. So it is not that basically something really mystery happened and these commodities are being expensive into the market. Okay, it's a demand and supply. It's basically pure demand and supply. If there is a scarcity of demand, then definitely prices will go up. and if the vice versa, then prices will go down. Okay. Now we don't know during the scarcity time, like when there is a price of commodities too high, whether farmers are earning enough or not. We don't know, and who is earning more. So what technology can do, if we create a basically database and intelligent system of demand and supply. The system has got, if we put the real time data on production, on demand, anything, the system can do some analysis and system can guide basically how to keep the price under control. Okay. So this is one just simple example. This is the one line example, but this getting all the data in real time or getting all the data from authentic sources is not that easy, provided agriculture is a scattered and people are mostly in the rural, people are involved into it, and where technology usage was very low, network coverage very low. So how technology will help in solving this sort of problem? One is there are many applications being developed, and those are used for the farmer or made for the farmer, so that they can see basically that what is the prices of a particular commodity very mandis. Okay, and they can see what is the process of cultivating a specific variety, and weather forecast is anyway is there, and they can refer those applications and they can take some decisions, and they basically are connected with the outside world. This is one example. Not many farmer or not all farmers have mobile application, but if some farmer is some educated, or some farmer's son or daughter are educated, they can, and if they have the smartphone, they can download those applications and they can see demand of pulses is good, pulses average price is this much, and cultivation process of pulses is this. Then what are the different types of diseases, what are the remedy of it. So this is informative systems, like through which basically farmers they basically get various informations. And these are purely client server technology used, like there are some master information and mobile application is being developed and farmers can access it. Okay. Then there are some aggregated systems. Aggregated system means if I get the data from a particular village or particular block or particular district, then what will happen? Basically, we can get the real time data about the production, that whether 100, let's say for example, in a particular village 100 farmers are cultivating tomato. So we in advance know that from this area 100 farmers are cultivating tomato. So if the average farming area is 1 acre, so 100 acre of tomato tomato is being cultivated in 100 acres. So there's a huge production will happen in the month of, let's say for example, after 2 to 3 months. So those data traders can refer, and traders can see in advance that this much tomato is coming up into the market, so they can plan their supply chain or they can plan their trading. Okay, so like that, there are various technologies like information based technologies are have started to use. Then there are advanced technologies. Advanced technologies means drone. For example, you all know drone, right? Now drone has some capability, like advanced capability. So for fertilizer spraying, drone can be used. Okay, drone. If we put the fertilizers and if we use drone, then the fertilizer application can be used done through drone. So some sort of automation can be done. Okay. Then there is another technology, that IoT, Internet of Things. Okay. For example, most of the farmers they do not have the soil test result in hand. Okay. They don't know what is my condition of the soil and which crop is best suited for that particular crop, best suited for which type of cultivation. So there were a lot of problems. If somebody wants to do testing of their soil, so they have to take a sample out of it, and they have to go to the nearest facility center, government facility center. There they have to provide it, and then after some 7 days or 8 days, they'll get the result. But nowadays, there are lots of companies have come up with some portable devices, and those devices, if somebody can collect a soil, and put inside it there is IoT, Internet of Things, and sensors are attached to it. So the results will be come within 30 seconds in mobile application. Okay, and not only that, along with the soil test result, it will say whether the nature of the soil, whether it's in acidic or alkaline, and then they can suggest which sort of treatment is needed, what sort of fertigation is needed. Okay, so degradation of soil is happening or not. So these are intelligent systems. This sort of systems are also being getting very much popular. Then there is another is um, whether through IoT devices we can monitor the soil like moisture of the soil, and whether the irrigation is done or not. Let's say for example somebody is putting water into field. Okay, now a sensor with a transmitter can be kept inside the field, and that transmitter will be mm that transmitter can be basically connected with the cloud environment. Let's say, for example, in real time, it can send the details about the soil uh, to the SIM, basically to the cloud environment, and anybody can see the real time status of that particular field. If there is a dryness, then we can tell the farmer that your field is dry and you can apply water immediately, or we can put SMS alert. Okay. So there are, if you search in Google agritech, you will find many companies, and then there is a livestock like animal husbandry. There are AI driven basically tools. Some tags are being put into the goat or cow, and that can be monitored real time basis, their behavior, their movement, other stuff. Okay. Now, important here is that how farmers will be benefited in improving their productivity and connected to the market. These are the two major goals. One is how their by using this technology can improve their productivity. If somebody is producing tomato, then how their productivity can be improved to 20% or 30% or 10%, and how they are connected with the market. Because unless and until whatever they do, they will be using technology, they will be using here and there. But if they don't get buyer actually on a real time basis, then all of their basically efforts will be in vain. And for market, they don't know this year how much they will be earning. Some year they might be earning good amount. Again, some year they might not be earning good because the production is too much. So there are intelligent system who will guide them to do optimum production, or they will guide them what sort of crops should be cultivated by farmers for which there is consistent demand in the market. Not only that, we are going one step ahead, and the Indian produces now everything is available in the system, and everything can be put into the system, and traders outside India, traders who are in US or who are in Europe or who are in Africa or who are in Middle East, they also, if they want, they also can see this data. They can see the variety of particular crop which is under cultivation, and they can see whatever they want to see, or they need to see, so that they are confident that the producers are good and they can do the trading actually. And we India as a country is targeting that we should be improved, or our farmers should be able to um, export certain producers, just like we did export for software, because the software industry is a boom now, and software industry is a success industry in India for last 20-30 years. So now agriculture sector also government is thinking that our produces, our 16-70% GDP will improve, and only when our productivity will improve, and some of it should be export. We should be able to export our produces outside India. And you might be knowing that not all countries across the globe, actually US, then Europe, then Canada, then Australia, New Zealand, and are having like the weather topology like India has. India by area, I think third or fourth largest uh, cultivation area, area for cultivation, fit for cultivation. And we have different weather area actually, well, not weather, our weather topology. If you see from Jammu Kashmir till Kanyakumari, and from Gujarat till from Gujarat to Assam, you will see almost in it's different actually. Himalayan area there are crop pattern is different. Rajasthan area crop pattern is different. So we can produce almost everything. Not many countries has. Europe does not have. America does not have. So we have a huge opportunity for agriculture exports. And previously people did not give importance to that those facts, but now since we basically our people are smart enough and we have people who are situated across entire world actually, and our technology is improving day by day. So now I think companies are going into that direction, and you will see a lot of happenings in next coming 5 to 10 years. Our exports will definitely increase a lot because India has the capability to not only, as I told in the earlier, feed our own people, but we also have the capability to feed outside our other countries as well. So this is how basically the landscape works. Then this is the cultivation side. Whatever I have explained you is about the cultivation side, like how cultivation happens and what kind of technologies are being used and will be used in future. Okay, but how about after cultivation? Let's say, for example, you might, I don't know whether you know it or not, whatever is being produced and whatever reaches to our plates, okay, raw vegetable or through restaurant, the losses is 20 to 30%. Losses means farmers they basically harvest and they pack it and then they send it to nearest mandis. The nearest mandi, the trader, they take it to the cities. From the cities, the wholesaler they give it to local seller, and then local seller they retailer they sell it to the household. The entire chain is not very smart. Actually, it's fragmented. Loading, unloading, sorting, grading, packaging. These are not very standard. ITC, then Pepsi, then there are like many companies who have set up successful supply chain. Okay, because why? Because they are basically processing. They have got huge processing units. Pepsi they manufacture chips. So for that actually they need a specific variety of potato. Otherwise, their chips will not be that tasty and shape will also be changed. So they agree or they basically contract with the farmers. They provide the seeds. The farmer produce the potato and then they buy it. But their supply chain is very tight. They have people to look after the supply chain. Their losses is very negligible. But it is not the case for others. So that post harvesting management is a huge challenge. Supply chain is a huge challenge. If somebody produces good fruits in Northeast, it is not easy for people to get them from Bangalore, right? People also don't know that we have so many varieties of tropical fruits cultivated in India. Many fruits and vegetables we are basically currently importing from countries like New Zealand and other other places. But the same is being produced in India. Kiwi, for an example, you might be knowing kiwi. It's a very expensive fruit, mostly vitamin C. It is very much helpful in COVID period because vitamin C, most highest quantity of vitamin C available in kiwi. Kiwi is very expensive, but Arunachal Pradesh, there is a place called Zero Valley. Zero Valley produces a huge and good quality kiwi. Similarly, blueberry. Blueberry we import from Peru and New Zealand, but blueberry also can be cultivated in northeastern and Himalayan and Himachal states. So now basically technology will be used heavily, and information collection and other stuff, and supply chain processes. Let's say for example, there are government have initiated two sort of thing. One is Kisan Rail and Kisan Flight, I think, for sending produces from one place of the country to another. Then there are some fridge. IIT Kharagpur based one startup has developed a basically refrigerator, solar-based refrigerator, which will be managed by mobile application, completely controlled by mobile application remotely. And those are not very expensive, and those can be used at the farmer field. People can see the status of the fridge from outside. They can control the temperature from remote places, and etc. So those are very portable and very easy. Earlier this sort of technologies were not available. Now people, villages or blocks where there is no cold storage, and if there is basically extra production, then what used to happen basically, it's a rotten, and it's a, things get waste actually. But nowadays these sort of things are coming up, and government is also giving many subsidies. So technology perspective, one is the production, like technologies which are involved into the production side. Then there is another technology which is being used for supply chain management. Okay, like how the producers can be tracked. If somebody is produced in Medinipur in West Bengal, and if the producers go to Mumbai, uh, when it is started, after that when it is harvested, from where to where it gone, and how it is reached to Mumbai. So the entire path can be tracked through devices. So those are called systems for supply chain management, end-to-end supply chain management. There are startups also who are working in this particular segment. Traceability, another area is traceability. How we can trace the path. Okay, let's say for example I am buying something from a supermarket, and if I want to trace the source, let's say somebody say these oranges have come from Nagpur, but there is no authenticity whether it has really come from Nagpur or not. But nowadays you will see, whenever you will be order something in supermarkets or through grocers or through Big Basket, Amazon, Flipkart, Jio, those will have QR code, and if you scan it you will get to know the source of the basically vegetable or the fruits, and how it has come actually, which variety it is. And blockchain, blockchain is another technology which is or which will disrupt the entire technology segment. And for this particular purpose blockchain will be used heavily, and we are working to build a blockchain network for this particular use case only. Because blockchain is one technology which will not be controlled by a single entity. If I have a system, I cannot control singly. It has got multiple copy. So if I do something wrong, and if I want to update my fact actually, then the other partner who are having a copy of it, they will reject it, and their copy will have different figure. So ultimately it will not be possible for anybody to manipulate their data or manipulate their system. Currently, let's say for example I have a system and I keep everything. Now if suddenly if I update it, then people cannot, because it is inside their system only. But blockchain, what will happen now? It will be distributed technology, like DApps we can say, and it will be having many partners and many nodes, and all nodes will be controlled by different people. So if some one person wants to update it, then it will not be able to show, because no transactions can be eliminated through blockchain. So that is the reason blockchain is currently is being used heavily, and we are also building a blockchain network for creating the traceability, and people will have more trust. If some data available in the blockchain network, that people say it's the authentic one. So when I say it's an authentic one, if somebody say this is a Darjeeling or Duars orange, then if the price is 20% more, people will pay for it. If somebody say it's an organic product, and if that person say the data are available in the blockchain network, then people will start like accepting the fact that yes, definitely this is an organic product. So ultimate objective is that the good prices product should get more value, and customers should also be satisfied. There will be no cheating kind of thing, and farmers ultimately will be benefited, because when somebody will pay more, then definitely there is, and farmers will also be uh, getting more. Another word you might be hearing, that middleman. So basically, introducing of the technology, the middleman roles will be. I don't know, or I don't say that middlemen will be eliminated, but the roles of middlemen will be changed. The middlemen will be there, but they are right now. What happens if farmers go to a market? Now farmers don't have choice. If somebody says it's a 12 rupees kg, they have to give it, because they don't have other option. But with the usage of technology, farmers can have multiple options. Not only single buyer. There might be multiple buyer, or they will be in advance. They can, so they can see what will be the prices of tomato 3 months down the line. So they can decide whether they will go for tomato or they will go for something else. So technology will help definitely everybody. It will help farmers. It will help traders. It will help the government agencies also to put right kind of money into the system. Where there is a need for improvement, government knows that this is the place where there is a need for improvement. They will put more money. And then there are e-commerces also. E-commerce I will take a separate session, but vegetable nowadays you can see lot of basically companies are doing vegetable trading to online. Okay, and it will increase a lot actually. It is started just, you will see in the coming days there will be a lot of e-commerce platforms will be coming up for technology, sorry, for retailing vegetables and fruits retailing. So this is how basically the agriculture domain is currently or has started using technology and will be, and coming days there will be more actually, because our farmers are not highly educated and they don't have like proper infrastructure in the sense, at least smartphones to which they can access. But coming days you will see they have all the basic infrastructure and they will be smart enough, or we can call it smart farming. And they
তোমার
will
টিচার
be
যা যা
interested
পড়াচ্ছে
in
সেগুলোকে শুনছি,
basically cultivating or
আমার যে ভালো
producing or
লাগছে শুনতে।
because nowadays farmers basically they don't want to basically cultivate, because they know that if they go to any other industry earning it more. But nowadays the trend will change actually. You will see lot of people, they are coming back into farming and they have started farming. And with the help of technology the ecosystem will be improved, and when the ecosystem will be improved the earnings will definitely will be helping farmers to earn more. And when someone will see incomes, more income, then definitely people will be interested. But economy, sorry, the agriculture is the backbone of like this country, India. You all know basically, because if that collapse, then the entire
তুমি
economy or a
খেতে যাও,
country
আমি
will collapse.
শুনছি।
Because if anything bad happens, like the
তুমি খেতে
pandemic,
যাও না, আমি
it is
শুনছি।
the
আমাদের
food
শুনতে
system
দাও,
which will keep us all living.
ভালো লাগছে
Other things will not going to work. So that is the reason. And because we are currently having enough confidence or enough knowledge on technology sector, uh, agri-tech is getting boom, and there are lots of startup in agriculture sector, sorry, agri-tech sector already is established, and also new startups are coming up. So that's it from the agri-tech actually. And uh, technologies that I have told, information system, then again the usage of database, because currently we don't have proper data for agriculture sector. All we have basically static data or snapshot data in Excel, and those data have been captured and kept in database. But there is no real time data. Real time data means if somebody today cultivates or sow tomato, that data should be available in the system on a real time basis, right? And that authentic. If some, let's say for example, there is a disaster, flood happens in one of the district of any state in India, then let's say for example 200 acre of cultivation area destroyed or crops destroyed, those data should be reflected immediately so that people can see the production loss. Okay, and what alternate can be done, and how farmers can be benefited with the crop insurance, right? Farmers should be get the basically insurance amount. Currently those are not very transparent actually, but nowadays people have started using satellite imagery also. ISRO, you might be aware, or if you search, you will find ISRO has a satellite insat 2A, I don't know the name actually, that is dedicatedly for keeping or providing agricultural data. So there are APIs available to collect imaginary data of a particular field. Let's say, for example, I have some 5 acre of cultivation area in West Bengal, Howrah district. Okay, and if I get the satellite imagery data, let's say, for example, every 7 days or so, from anywhere in the world, I can see my field status. Okay, those data, if I can do if I do analysis, I can see whether my crops are in good or not. Because initially those data will be very hazy. But if I take 100 snapshot of it, then it will give some indication. Okay, and if I compare and if I use deep learning or machine learning into it, then that will give us some idea whether those are in good shape or not. If some disease happens, then those data will be giving some indication. So like that, actually advanced monitoring system are also being used. There are lots of companies, Indian startup as well as like startups from US, UK. They are also helping us. They are also providing APIs for collecting those sort of information. At the same time, Indian Meteorological Department, ISRO, they are also providing APIs for accessing satellite data for crop health monitoring. So these are the technologies which are being used or will be used in near future, very near future, for using the basically or improving the agriculture ecosystem. So from technology perspective, I can say that like the areas where mostly you can see stuck is IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, because that is going to change. Because if somebody has a pond, there are devices through which you can monitor the continuous monitoring of the nitrogen capability of the particular water, and which is suitable for fish rearing, and what sort of treatment is needed, and all can be done through remotely. Monitoring can be done through remotely. Not always people have to go inside the pond and collect sample. And so these sort of technologies have started like applying into the fields. And then IoT is a very important field, then satellite imagery, then blockchain, then basically advanced data analytics system for market intelligence, market intelligence. Those are the system which are being used heavily, or will be used heavily in near future. Apart from that, there are some information system for the farming ecosystem, pricing technologies, and then e-commerce systems. Like, let's say for example, we as a consumer can place anything through Amazon. If I need a anything like mobile, computer, any household items, clothes, anything we can order. Not only there are many e-commerce portal available. Similarly, for agriculture also, if farmer wants, they also should be able to order anything. If they need a particular hybrid seeds of a particular variety, they should get it. Currently, those facilities are not there. They are totally dependent on the local traders and local shops inventory. They cannot like, if somebody see that I want to grow a specific variety of tomato, if that particular tomato seed is not available in that particular area, then that farmer cannot do it. But nowadays they can order. There are many e-commerce applications or sites are also there who provide these sort of facilities in through electronic or through website actually. So overall, the supply chain is getting in better, and usage of technology is helping farmers. And it is just the starting point, I can say. We are into the zero stage now in the agri tech. Like banking, that day Kovirul told now the systems are very matured now. If any bank says no, we don't provide online banking, then customer will not come, or consumers will not come. So they already are matured actually. Banking sector is already matured. We are going to the next section, next level. What those level, that that's a separate discussion. Like that, actually, agriculture we are level zero, and I think now one next 2 to 3 years will be level one, and then like that actually it will improve. And gradually you will see the people will be using smartphones, people will be using technology, people will be using information more securely to participate or to do cultivation also. But now those are not being used heavily. Those are rarely used, not even 1%, 0.01% maybe. But that is going to uh, make a complete change actually. And when it will start making a change, India's GDP will improve, and India's income will also improve, because export is a big opportunity, and not every country has the capability to produce rice, then wheats, then grains, then pulses, then vegetables. Middle East, those countries don't, they cannot cultivate, right? So they have to dependent for fruits and vegetables from other country. Like, let's say for example, Singapore, they basically import most of their daily needs, grocery, then vegetables, then dairy items from Australia and New Zealand and China, to some extent China. Now, India never focused on those areas, but now we have started focusing on those. So, Singapore is not very far away from us, it's a 4 hour journey. So who knows the Eastern India like West Bengal is well placed, and if we do well and our farmers do well, then basically we can also export our stuff to Singapore. So like that, there are many markets, open markets available. Only fact is that we have to compete and we have to compete with the global players. Global players, when I say China is the most competitive one, and apart from that, like there are some items which are not produced anywhere. It's only in India. So there we have to keep the prices under control, and only technology can help us achieving those things. Manual process and manual stuff is not going to help because our cost of production will be very high. When I say cost of production, per acre production and divided by cost. It's a simple calculation: labor cost, fertilizer cost, pesticide cost, any other disease cost, sorting cost, grading cost, supply chain cost. This cost will be huge actually. That's the reason government is emphasis more on the production side, that people or farmers should emphasize more how they can improve the production. Now, if there is too much production, how to manage that? That technology will take care. It will not, because system will intelligent and system will guide which crop to go to where and how, which crop to cultivate. But our improve production should be improved a lot actually. Otherwise, competition will not be no. We may be doing good in domestic market, but international market it will be very difficult to compete. So that is the reason, agri-tech, there is lots of investment coming up and lots of startup are coming up and lots of technology are being induced into it. That's it from my side from the agri-tech, and I will be sharing a detailed presentation of whatever I told actually. Right, not tomorrow. I will take some time because I have slides, but I have to just rearrange them, and you can recall everything whatever I discuss, from food production to supply chain to food production, how technology will be used and why technology will be used and what technology can do, what farmers will achieve without technology and what farmers will achieve with technology. So that's it from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me, and otherwise you can ask me through the chat. And tomorrow same time I will take another session on the e-commerce, and after that there will be session start on AWS. So that will be, I will not be taking that session, that will be taken by one of our cloud experts. I will be there in the introduce the very first call, where I will be guiding you what cloud computing means and why cloud computing is needed and what has been changed actually without cloud and with cloud, what has been changed. Right. It's a magic happened actually last 10-15 years because of the cloud computing. So that very 15-20 minutes brief I will give, and then our experts will take you through the cloud, AWS and cloud concept modules. What are the various services AWS provides? Okay, it's like Amazon. Amazon you can buy anything, right? Similarly, Amazon Cloud you also can buy anything. So that's it for today. Thank you all for attending. And technology session, please attend it properly, and it will give you a huge boost. Actually, you will be having good idea about what is happening into the market and where basically technology is shifting, what will happen in future. And once big that cloud session will over, then those will be full stack and data. Those will not be that difficult, not difficult in the sense full stack you write code in full stack or whatever, it will be, you'll be ultimately writing code. But cloud computing is totally different because you'll see a lot of changes, because earlier we used to develop program in my local system, but now it's no more the same actually. So that's it from my side. Now if you have any questions or anything, you can ask, or I am happy to answer you. I will be opening this session for 2 minutes, 2 3 minutes, and based upon your questions, I can continue, and otherwise, I will, after 2 to 3 minutes, I will close it. And same session will happen tomorrow on e-commerce. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or otherwise you can. I will share the PPT this week, like next week, and then we'll start the AWS sessions. Gaurav Sarkar has asked, is everyone using nowadays? Gaurav, you have asked about the cloud. Yes, yes, yes. See, the meeting we are doing it is in cloud, na Google Cloud. It's in Google Cloud. Now, whatever you will do, now it's no the basic. Let me take you to just give brief idea. Data center you might be heard, na data center where basically data are kept. Okay, so those are what called data center. Basically, it's a computer center. You can say. Let's say, for example, uh, uh, any organization, steel plant, bank, they have got a data center where they keep all the servers. But nowadays, those servers they don't keep because it is too expensive and it is too difficult to manage them. Instead, providers like AWS, Google, and Microsoft, they are providing the data center. And you, as a owner, you just tell what you need. If you need a server with 32 GB RAM and Ubuntu OS and with certain software, you just click on some items and your servers will be ready, and you will be charged for only, you will be charged like phone, like phone we have many prepaid, we have got postpaid, we have got data usage limit, we have got call limit. Similarly for cloud also, at AWS, Microsoft, Google, they provide this sort of services. If you need more storage, you can choose those servers which are giving more storage. If you need more computing power, you choose server with more computing power. If you need more load, whatever the way you want to buy, you can buy it, and you will be only charged. Let's say for example you want to use the server 2 hours daily, so after 2 hours you can stop the server and you will be charged for 2 hours. It is highly sophisticated, highly sophisticated. It will not be down for a single minute actually. 99.99 accuracy for the availability for big clouds. So cloud is being, if AWS stops, most of the news channel or TV channel will be stopped because they keep their data or their videos everything in AWS mostly. NDTV, Star Sports, Hotstar, all are dependent on cloud because of AWS and other stuff. Because the sophistication that AWS provides, not every company will be able to build it. Yes, so let's close it. So tomorrow same time we will be joining, and thank you for all. Before this section, I didn't know. Okay, 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 sir, understood. There is another question. Yes, very helpful. Before those sessions, I didn't know how transaction. Okay, yeah. Banking is a C actually. Banking is a C. It's a complete C, and there are many things. But every sector and what you will see now, all entire world is connected. If I develop a application, that I will tell tomorrow actually, the e-commerce section, how we are interdependent. Earlier we used to develop a application, let's say for example inventory management system. I have a inventory management system, I will develop it and I will run it in my server, my employees or my some people will be using it, and then people started moving it into the internet, that the same application will be available into the internet, right? But now it is not like that actually. That if I develop a my inventory management system, I will be dependent on other services also. How, I will explain you tomorrow. If those services get stopped, my also applications will be stopped. So this is how basically. Okay, thank you all, bye.